Well, once again, I'm brschultz. Thank you for joining me. It is December 27th, and the market is tanking. So the peak was obviously December 26th. And the peak model for January 3rd was obviously a fail. And the algo was off a few days. So a few business days, I should say. Obviously, today's Friday, and then we only have 4 trading days until the 3rd, or 3 trading days, I guess you could say, until we reach the 3rd. So the model, I believe, was off a little bit in the algorithm, so that was a fail, because I only get plus or minus 1 business day. So close, but not enough, right? Not enough to call it a win. I got stopped out. I went long on near the bottom on December 23rd, and with today's 100-point drop, I got stopped out. So the good news is every time I'm taking one of these trades, it seems that I'm making profit. I'm in a profitable position for the trade at its beginning, and then obviously if my algorithm is off a little bit, as it gets closer and closer to the date, that's where you start to see how fine-tuned the model is correct. In general, it's working, but it still has a few range or trough width, breadth adjustments to make in the gold wave. But nonetheless, as you can see, it was predicting some type of peak around January 3rd. It came a little early, so I need to either offset the gold wave or adjust it in some way, shape, or form. And so that's it failed, right? It was off just a little bit. So some of you might be like, well, from maybe someone that's doesn't have models or has tried this before and have seen how difficult it is to create models. You might say it's a success in general terms, but in fine-tuned terms, it failed, right? So the thing is the bottom model is a different algorithm than the peak model. Okay, so there's 2 algorithms. There's an algorithm actually for every time frame, and then if it's a peak or a bottom, it has a completely different algorithm. So I create an algorithm for bottoms, I create an algorithm for peaks, I create a 10-minute time frame or daily time frame, whatever it is. It has its own unique algorithm depending if it's a peak or a bottom. So everyone's gonna say, oh, okay, so your peak actually hit this morning or last trading day, and so you're still waiting for January 9th bottom, because that would suggest that your bottom model might still be working, but your peak model is what failed. And that's how I would agree with that statement. I would say that the peak model has failed. It needs a little bit of work, and yes, I would still think that the bottom model would work. What's interesting about the bottom model, if you look at my blog on WordPress, brschultz Gold Wave WordPress blog, you will note that the bottom model actually had a bust for today. So it seems to be that the bottom model is working and is somewhat fine-tuned, but I feel like I want to make an explanation for everyone, because yeah, I want to admit when I fail, and I still think I got a decent model. Obviously, you can tell because the market's collapsed, and it was looking for some type of peak, So in general terms, it is working, but just not 100% right. So, but I wanted to review the charts with you today. I made some adjustments real quick this morning, hoping that it's a better fit. And then obviously you're going to want to see is the peak for January 20th still set? I believe it is. So I think you're still going to see a market jump from the January 9th, January 10th bottom in markets, and then peak around Inauguration Day. So let's jump to the models. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully you're enjoying the series. Hopefully you're enjoying the videos, and you're amazed and slack-jawed at the near misses, if you will. and how the model's been able to call out these major crash points in the market here in the last 2-3 weeks. First being in early December, late November, the model was looking for some type of crash in markets. It got it right. That was pretty amazing. And then the model is obviously looking for some type of peak very close to the end of the year. And again, just a couple days off. But yeah, we still got a major crash. So that's exactly what the model was looking for, some type of market crash after the January 3rd peak. So it looks like we got that crash. So now I have to wait for roughly January 9th or 10th to kind of go enter long in my long position. Obviously, everyone has their own indicators. I'm not a trading professional by any means. I'm not a licensed professional. I'm not a financial professional. Yada yada yada. And I've been working hard to getting all my user handles and usernames across the board to be synced, to be aligned. So that's brschultzSP500, all connected, no spaces. So if you Google that, you only get my username, right? You only get my work. So everyone wants to be at the top of Google when you Google something. So I thought that was pretty sweet when I finally got to that point. And in German, the German language, you'll see some words that are extremely long because they don't, a lot of times they don't put spaces in their spelling of words. They can have an extremely long word that's without spaces. So I guess with my German last name, that kind of fits the no space selection there. So let's jump to some models here. Thank you for joining me. If you want to throw a donation my way, please feel free. You can use the PayPal link below the video on YouTube in the description, or you can use these QR codes. Thank you for watching my work. I appreciate it. Okay, so here is the peak model. It's kind of that red square that says peak. It's a long graph. I use 2 screens to take this print screen, so that's why you see it kind of smushed together. And then the next screen I'll expand the very end so you can see the dates. But nonetheless, this is just to show you the gold wave, essentially. So I had to adjust the, the range, how tall it is and how high it goes and how low it goes. Excuse me for not knowing all my sine wave jargon. It's been a while since I've taken my engineering classes. So you got the 1, 2, 3 in the white color and the 1, 2, 3 in the yellow color. So the yellow color goes out to roughly December 24th, 25th, roughly 26th, right around there. And then that would explain this crash that we just had. But your question is, can you still kind of get the model to fit the inauguration day? So that shoots out to around January 16th, but then you have to remove 2 market holidays, December 25th, Christmas, and then New Year's Day. That is also a market trading holiday, I believe. And so you have to remove 2 business days, and so that bumps it from January 16th out to January 20th, which I think there's MLK Day or something around there too. So I think that's a market holiday as well. So it gets right around Inauguration Day for a peak in the markets, for our next peak. But you can see how powerful these peaks are, right? Was able to get the late November, early December peak, and then we saw a collapse in markets. And it was looking for some type of peak here, right? So, and then we got the peak here, and then a collapse in markets. So it's doing pretty good. And if you followed my other work, if you watched the other videos, you know that I was looking for some type of choppy markets going into the macro bottom. I believe it's going to happen in March. So this is going right in line with that. I thought markets were peaking out the end of November, macro peak, and then sideways or lower into the March macro bottom. So it is playing along the lines of the prescribed forecast from the macro view. But yeah, I'm trying to get the micro models to work a little better, as you can tell. But I was looking for some type of peak very soon. And if markets rocket back up to January 3rd, then I'm going to really be trying to figure out which one to call, right, as the peak. So but either way, I got stopped out, so I have to wait till that January 9th, January 10th to go along if I want to choose to do that, or what size position I want to take around that time. But yeah, so I wanted to give you kind of the view of, if I expand the breadth of the gold wave, how I can get the ball placement, so to speak, on the green. And yeah, so with that said, this is kind of where I'm seeing it. Yeah, so we'll zoom in on the next graph. So this will be the next graph zoomed in. As you can tell, it could give you the 24th, 25th, 26th time frame for a peak. And that's what we saw. And then it still fits to the near the 20th for a peak. So that's what the model is looking for essentially. And I think I have enough historical actual data now to lock in that gold wave that you're seeing with the peak for that black line is tagging that. I have to put 3 days into the future, just averaging of today's high and low essentially for the market data for the next 3 days, and then just push it out to the future 3 days so that the averaging of the gold wave gets me a little further on the graph, so I can see a little bit more of the gold wave. So that's kind of what's going on there. So that's why I see the purple wave out to the 31st. But yeah, so we could see some type of major drop in the markets after Inauguration Day or after MLK Day. Okay, I'll look at the bottoms again. I think you've already seen the bottoms in the last presentation, but just to show you that I haven't changed my bottom projections yet, I should say, right? But I still think they're pretty accurate or pretty close to a near bottom for the markets on January 9th or 10th. So that's where I'm going to have to wait to go long. And again, I can't recommend any stocks or anything like that. This is the S&P 500, so please speak with a trading professional or a financial professional prior to any trading any type of asset. You're exposed to risk of loss. And then if you want to follow my work, please do. I don't need a lot of subscribers. Obviously, I need high accuracy because I'm not for I'm not a YouTube sensation that's here for entertainment, where I do stupid tricks all day on the internet, or silly trucks, or or dunk tanks, or super sloppy double dare. I try to do highly technical timing for the stock market. So obviously it's the quality. So if people threaten to unsubscribe or leave my work because they don't like how I talk about this or that, or my political views, or I'm a conservative Christian, they don't like me for that, that's fine. I realize you're still going to watch my show because you probably can't find any of this anywhere else on the internet. So again, it's my quality of work that's going to bring the masses, right? It is not going to be whether you're a subscriber or not that gets me anywhere. It's going to be if I can give to you something that's of value. So my focus, no matter if everyone were to leave me and say, we think you're silly and don't want to ever subscribe to you again, I have a strong feeling that you're going to watch my work, because I don't think you can find this work anywhere. And really, that's the only thing I'm working towards, because I realize if I give the public a extremely valuable presentation that I think even hedge fund managers could benefit from as I go along in this series in 2025, if I can get to the point where hedge fund managers are watching my work, where wealth fund managers are watching my work, and I know that the everyday person is going to value my work, and therefore I know that donations will eventually flow in. If I can provide a highly rare, highly effective, highly accurate model. So that's where my target is on that graph, is accuracy, because I know that's what's going to keep bringing you back. And if you're making profits, or your trade is initially really successful, then odds are you're going to want me to stay here, and odds are donations will come from there. So that is my aim, that's my goal, and that is where I'm trying to get to. So let's keep moving. And obviously, if you want to donate $7 or $7.77 or whatever you want to donate, I will gladly be glad to receive any type of donation. And those of you who have donated before, I very much appreciate it. So even if you're impressed that my initial calls, or my calls for maybe the 19th, were highly successful, and you're blown away by that, and you want to donate something to me, I appreciate it. It keeps me encouraged as well. It makes me believe that people are finding value in my work, and or they're seeing how an entry on December 19th, or end of day 19th, or early morning 20th, for that plus or minus one business day, would have been highly profitable, or even staying out of the market, right, since the end of November and waiting to enter in March, right? That was also an option, or, you know, shorting, whatever, all the different options. But if you find high accuracy in my work and want to donate, I would greatly appreciate it. It always makes my day. And that's kind of the goal, right? If I can get 200 or 300 donations a week, right, in a couple of years from now, because my model is so effective, so accurate, and I have such a huge following, I could maybe, by God's grace, one day do this full time, and I wouldn't have to work anymore. This would be my work, working for you and trying to give you the best. So, and obviously with that, you might say, well, you could probably quit any time as well, right? You could quit doing these videos if I donate. That is true too. You do have a point there. And if I start to fail massively, obviously I have said that I would pause my video series as well and step away for a while, because I want to deliver a highly effective product to the masses. But I'm here to serve you. I really believe so. I really want to do that my whole life. You might ask, well, if someone were to try to buy you out or buy out your service or ask them to work for you as a private individual, if they were offering you $1 million, would you go work for them? Well, obviously, I would probably tell everyone first that I'm thinking about that, and then have to decide from there. Obviously, it's a super lucrative offer, then I would have to consider it. But yeah, I would definitely tell everyone first, and that at least that's my goal. Would be very forthright with everyone. Say, you know, a 6-month window or whatever. But that's getting ahead of myself right now. So this model is basically saying that there is a bottom roughly around January 7th, and if you add 2 business days, that gives you around the 9th or 10th. So I'm looking for a low in markets around January 9th or 10th from this model. And yeah, so yep, and yeah, so that's where I'm looking to re-enter my my long positions, possibly. If there's a nice sell-off into the 9th or 10th, then I will take the pool shot. It's like the game of pool. If the shot sets up, take the shot. If it doesn't, wait for the next one. So still waiting for January 9th and 10th for my next long play. And again, zoomed in. Essentially, what I want, if you look in the previous graph, sorry I didn't mention that when it was up, it's a clean shot. The trend line, that it didn't cross any other gold wave when I did a 1, 2, 3. That's what I like the best, is the clear 1, 2, 3s that don't actually have any interference from any other part of the gold wave. And again, if you zoom back the tape, it had a crisp 1, 2, 3 without crossing any other gold wave or any other part of a gold wave. And usually that creates a really nice bottom, like December, I think December 16th or 19th was a pretty clear trend. And so yeah, so that's where I really like to see those. But yeah, so this is a 1, 2, 3 going out to, again, it'll be roughly the 9th or 10th. And so we're looking at my indicators on the 9th or 10th, and I think that's where the bottom will be. And then markets, I assume, or my hope would be that we get some kind of push up in the markets after that. And obviously, with such a volatile market, maybe I just start taking profits a lot sooner than what I've been doing, because your call, again, needs a highly refined algorithm to properly get the final date perfect. So the initial kickstart of the trade might be great, might start profitable or highly profitable, but then as we get closer and closer to the other turning point, you know, your odds start working against me, obviously, as shown here on December 26th peak. So again, if markets go up into January 3rd, then I'm gonna have to I just have to really study this algorithm for the peaks and see, okay, where should the peak have been, or is there another peak that I didn't see in the gold wave, or, you know. That's the hardest part, is when you get like this if the markets crash here off of the December 26th peak, and then they go back up into January 3rd and they crash down into January 9th or 10th, right? Then I really have to do some studying to see which setting of the algorithm really draws out those two specific peaks. And so sometimes I just have to study it for a while to find out where it is. Other times, obviously, I need to make an adjustment. So I just want to admit I was wrong. It looks like I was wrong. I failed. My model's off by more than 1 day. I like to do plus or minus 1 business day for my swing plays, my pivot calls. And so I feel like people don't see it enough on YouTube where people admit that they're a failure or they failed at some point. And if you follow my work, you know that I admit when I fail. I try to. Probably sometimes I have to wait, right? I have to wait to see if it plays out. There's other times that hopefully I'm quick to admit I think I failed. And this time I think I failed. I think I missed, right? I missed it by 3 days instead of 1 day. So hopefully you get a good chuckle out of this. Hopefully, like, wow, there's actually somebody on YouTube that admits when they're wrong. And I think repentance is a sign of humility. And obviously being married, having a wife that tells me I'm wrong a lot, you have to do a little self-reflection and say, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was prideful. Maybe I do need to shut my mouth. Maybe I do need to listen a little better. So I think that really has helped me in my life's journey, being married and having to admit my faults openly to my wife and my kids. So hopefully you see the same type of honesty going out to you, the viewer, and hopefully you see some kind of value in that. And yeah, so hopefully I'm just an average everyday person like everyone hopefully viewing this, except for maybe those super wealthy wealth managers that hopefully eventually follow me. But hopefully I think for the masses, I'm just an average guy and trying to make a positive, life-changing model with this algorithm. I really want to one day just blow the socks off everybody and create a model that is highly effective and just a profit-generating monster. So that's my goal by 2030, is to really refine all my models so that I can do mid-range, short-range, long-term, the whole kit and caboodle. All right. Thank you for following me. I'm BR Schultz. As the year winds down, hopefully you stay safe and have some good family time, and stay safe on New Year's Eve, and Happy New Year to you as well if I don't produce another video. And if not, I will see you in 2025. Take care. So hopefully you've enjoyed my show today. Warning, this is all forecast use only. Come here. You want to read this for me? What does that say? Forecast?
Forecast.
Use
only.
Only. Right. And what's this say?
Warning.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer. I am not
A licensed investment professional. That's Latin. So say caveat emptor. Seek professional advice prior to investing. Investing bears risk
of
financial
loss.
Very good. And so basically this is saying if you ever try to invest in stocks or anything else, you could lose money. Warning, warning, warning. And all my graphs are subject to change. And not all the results are not always the same. Yeah. Thank you for reading for me.
You're welcome.
And that's it for today. I'm BR Schultz. Until next time, take care.